Welcome back to Strawberry Ink. Today, we dive into the shocking story of Natalie Cochran, a woman whose crimes spanned both a federal fraud and state murder. Natalie Cochran, born on November of 1980 as Natalie Jesup, married Michael Brandon Cochran in the early 2000s. The couple had two kids and operated a contracting business throughout the 2010s. In 2017, they launched Tactical Solutions Group known as TSG, claiming to secure lucrative government contracts. But this company was a facade. It was a scam. Between 2017 and 2019, Natalie defrauded at least 11 investors out of $2.5 million, using the money for personal luxuries, real estate, jewelry, and even a 1965 Shelby Cobra. She also ran a classic Ponzi scheme, using new investors, their money to pay partial returns to earlier ones. During this period, her life began to unravel. On February 5th, 2019, Michael collapsed at home. Despite his critical condition, Natalie delayed calling for help, telling friends he would sleep it off. He was hospitalized with a dangerously low blood sugar of 21 milligrams and died 6 days later on February 11th, 2019. This was initially ruled a death of natural causes, but later forensic testing after Natalie's federal fraud outcome revealed he had been poisoned with a lethal dose of insulin. That is according to the staff of the Blackley Appalachian Regional Hospital. Michael Cochran's services were private, being held at the Rose and Kezemberry Funeral Home in Shady Spring, West Virginia. He was afterwards buried at the Sunset Memorial Park in Beckley. Natalie's fraud led to a federal investigation that tied her to a criminal probe within the Southern District of West Virginia. Prosecutor Mark Stewart presented the probe to a grand jury at the Charleston Federal Court. This grand jury reached an indictment for wire fraud and money laundering. Once unsealed, Natalie was summoned to federal court. On September 26, 2019, she appeared before federal magistrate Omar Abelson, pleading not guilty to the charges. She remained free, awaiting trial, and retained private attorneys Matthew Victor as well as Stanley Sheldon. In September 2020, Natalie struck a plea deal, pleading guilty to both charges. In March 2021, Judge Frank Volk sentenced her to 11 years and 3 months in federal prison. She was also ordered to pay a $2.5 million fee in restitution. She waived her right to appeal, and immediately after sentencing, she was taken into custody, being sent to the Hazleton Federal Prison of Brewston Mills, West Virginia. While in this federal prison, Natalie became the target of another state investigation. Raleigh County Prosecutor Jack Alsop took on a state probe and convened a grand jury at the Raleigh County Circuit Court, which indicted her on a first-degree murder charge. She again retained Victor and Sheldon as her defenders. Following the indictment, she was moved to the Southern Regional Jail of Beaver, West Virginia, to await state court proceedings before Circuit Judge H.L. Kirkpatrick. Natalie pleaded not guilty. In January 2025, she went to trial. The jury consisted of 12 members and 2 alternates. On the 29th day of the month, she was found guilty of first-degree murder. Judge Kirkpatrick immediately sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She has appealed the conviction, but that matter is pending. The judge has refused to toss that conviction nor redo the trial. Natalie, meanwhile, has been returned to the Hazleton Federal Prison, where she remains incarcerated. Natalie Cochran's story is a chilling reminder of how greed, deception, and betrayal can culminate in tragedy. From a Ponzi scheme to murder, her case spans both federal and state justice systems, leaving a lasting mark on West Virginia's legal history. Thank you for listening. Take care and have a good rest of your day.